I hope all of you are doing good. Let's start today's chapter, fractions and decimals. Introduction. We have already learned about fractions and decimals in the previous class. In this class, we shall learn about the multiplication and division of fractions and decimals. A fraction is a part of a whole. A whole can be a group of objects or a single object. For example, 4 by 12 is a fraction, you know that, and in this 4 is called the numerator and 12 is called the denominator, which you already know, right? Let us recall. First, proper fraction. A fraction representing a part of a whole is called a proper fraction. In proper fraction, the denominator is bigger than the numerator, for example. Next is improper fraction. A combination of a whole and a proper fraction is called an improper fraction. In this fraction, numerator is bigger than the denominator, okay? For example, all these are improper fraction. Mixed fraction, a combination of a whole and a part is called a mixed fraction. For example, all these are mixed fractions, okay? Multiplication of fractions. To multiply a fraction by a whole number, we multiply the whole number by the numerator of the fraction, okay? For example, 3 into 2 by 3. We are multiplying a whole number by a fraction. So, we will multiply numerator and then denominator. 3 2s are 6 by 7, okay? So, to multiply a whole number by a mixed fraction, we change the mixed fraction into an improper fraction, okay? For example, here is a whole number and a mixed fraction. So, to multiply a whole number by mixed fraction, we change the mixed fraction into an improper fraction, okay? So, 5 into 2 whole 3 by 4 is what? 5 into 2 4s are 8 plus 3 11 by 4. Now, we will multiply as we multiply the fractions, like we will multiply numerators and then denominator, right? When two proper fractions are multiplied, the product is less than each of the individual fraction. For example, see, these two are what? Proper fractions, and product is less than each of the individual fraction, okay? When two improper fractions are multiplied, the product is greater than each of the individual. For example, these two are improper fractions, and after multiplying, the answer we get is greater than these two improper fractions, okay? Fraction as an operation of represents multiplication, okay, about which we have already studied in previous classes, okay? So, 1 by 3 of 3 means 1 by 3 multiply 3, okay? Then you will get this answer 3 by 2, right? Exercise 5.1 is multiply and reduce to the lowest form. 5 into 4 by 7. So, we will multiply numerator. 5 into 4 is 20 by 7. So, we cannot reduce it to the lowest form, but we can also convert into mixed number. So, what will you write here? 2 whole 6 by 7, okay? Next, division of a fraction. Reciprocal of a fraction. To obtain the reciprocal of a fraction, we interchange the numerator with the denominator. Example is 2 by 5 is 5 by 2, okay? So, divide a whole number by a fraction, we take the reciprocal of the fraction and then multiply it by the whole number, okay? Example, 6 divided by 4 by 5. So, 6 into 5 by 4, okay? And we can cancel it also, 15 by 2, right? To divide a fraction by a whole number, we multiply the fraction by the reciprocal of the whole number. For example, this is the whole number, a reciprocal of 5 is 1 by 5, okay? Next, to divide a fraction by a fraction, we multiply the first fraction by the reciprocal of the second fraction, that is 3 by 5 divided by 1 by 2, okay? So, what will we do? We will do reciprocal of this fraction, that is 2 by 1, okay? And 6 by 5 is the answer. Exercise 5.2. Find 10 divided by 2 by 5. So, we will do reciprocal of this fraction, 5 by 2. 2 5s are 15 and 5 into 5 is 25. 25 is the answer, right? Next, multiplication of decimals. To multiply a whole number by a decimal number, follow these steps. Number 1. Avoid the decimals and multiply the two numbers. 2. Count the number of digits to the right of decimal point in the original decimal number. 3. Put the decimal from right to left in the answer by the same count. Okay. Example is 4 into 0.2. So 4 2s are 8. So there is one decimal place. So you will place decimal after one digit starting from the right. So here you will put the decimal. To multiply a decimal number by a decimal number, Follow these steps. Number 1, avoid the decimals and multiply the two numbers. Okay, first you should ignore the decimal. Number 2, count the number of digits to the right of decimal point in both the decimal number. Okay. Number 3, add the number of digits counted and put the decimal from right to left in the answer by the same count. For example, 0.3 into 0.8. Let's first ignore these decimals. Okay, 3 into 8 is 24. Now let's count the decimal place. Okay, 1 digit and 1. Okay, so 1 plus 1 is 2. That means we have to put decimal after 2 digits starting from the right. So 1, 2, decimal and 0. Okay, to multiply a decimal by 10, 100 or 1000. To multiply a decimal number by 10, retain the original number and shift the decimal to the right by 1 place. Okay, for example, 0.5 into 10 is what? 50, and then you have to shift this point to this side. Okay, that is 5.0. Okay, so to multiply a decimal by 100, retain the original number and shift the decimal to the right by 2 places. Example is 0.8 into 100. Okay, we will retain the original number. Now we have to shift this decimal to 2 places to the right of it. So 1, 2. So here decimal was here, so 1, 2, that means here. So 80, you can say, okay, or 80.0. Okay. So to multiply a decimal number by 1000, retain the original number and shift the decimal to the right by 3 places. Okay, for example, now let's do exercise 5.3. Find 0.8 into 5. 0.8 into 5 is what? First we should ignore the decimal. 8 into 5 is 40. Okay, and then we will put decimal after 1 digit from right side. Okay, so 4 is the answer, right? Next, division of decimals. To divide a decimal number by a whole number, follow these steps. Number 1, convert the decimal number into a fraction. Number 2, take the reciprocal of the divisor. 3, multiply the reciprocal by the fraction. Let's do the example. 7.2 divided by 3. 7.2 into, we will take the reciprocal of this, 1 by 3. Or you can also write 72 upon 10 into 1 by 3. Okay, now 2, 3, 3 2s are 6, 3 4s are 12. 24 by 10, or you can also write 2.4. Okay, to divide a decimal number by 10, 100 or 1000. To divide a decimal number by 10, retain the original number and shift the decimal to the left by 1 place. Okay, in this case, in the case of division, what will you do? You have to shift the decimal to the left by 1 place if you are dividing by 10, and by 2 place if you are dividing by 100, and by 3 place if you are dividing by 1000. For example, see, 2.48 divided by 10. We will retain the original number and we will just shift this decimal to 1 place to the left. Okay, so you will get this number, 0.248. Okay, similarly, in case of 100, what will you do? You will retain the original number and now you will shift this decimal to 2 place to the left. 1, 2. 1, 2 here. So answer is 0.036. Okay, and also if you have to divide a decimal number by 1000, what will you do? Have a look. 3.57. Okay, so what will you do? You will shift this decimal towards left by 3 digit. Okay, by so 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 0.00357, right? To divide a decimal number by another decimal number, follow the given steps. Number 1, convert the both decimal numbers into fractions. 2, take the reciprocal of the divisor. And 3, multiply the reciprocal by the fraction. Okay, so 35.5 divided by 0.5. Okay, 35.5 divided by 0.5. Okay, now 355 by 10 divided by 5 by 10. Okay, now do the reciprocal of this. 10, 10 goes 5 ones are 5, 5 sevens are 35, 5 ones are 5. So 71, this is the answer. Okay, now question number, exercise 5.4, find 0.6 divided by 2. Okay, first what will you do? You will divide 6 by 2. Okay, first you will ignore the decimal. right? 6 divided by 2 is 3, and now put the decimal after one digit starting from the right here. 0.3 is the answer. Okay, things to remember. Number 1, two fractions are multiplied by multiplying their numerators and denominators. 2, a fraction acts as an operator of. 3, the product of two proper fractions is less than each of the individual fractions. 4, the product of two improper fractions is greater than each of the individual fractions. 5, the reciprocal of a fraction is obtained by interchanging the numerator with the denominator. 6, to multiply a decimal number by 10, 100 and 1000, we retain the original number and shift the decimal to the right by 1 place, 2 places and 3 places respectively. And number 7, to divide a decimal number by 10, 100 and 1000, we retain the original number and shift the decimal to the left by 1 place, 2 places and 3 places respectively. Okay students, I hope you have understood this chapter. Now you will do practice of the remaining questions of the exercise.